Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. We are starting the brand newly released game in early access, I'd like to say. All Quiet in the Trenches. Now, we did play the demo of this during Next Fest on Steam, and I absolutely loved it. So, now the game has been released in early access. We are going to be playing it on this channel and following its progress as it develops through early access all the way to full release and hopefully beyond. But for now, let's just jump straight in. New game. The game automates saves single let's go single save game. Activate tutorial. Let's remind myself what we're doing. It was a couple of months ago. I've slept since then. Who only knows what I remember? Here we are in the trenches of World War One. And here we have it. Monday, March 1st, 1915. I could still hardly believe that a few days ago, back home, I had been appointed Unterofficer in charge of this handful of men. And here they were, sneaking through the trenches behind me, not 100 meters from the enemy positions, with heavy packs and dwindling strength. Florian Mail's thoughts still seemed to be firmly at home, and he still appeared to be treating this as a short trip. Karl Menk, smaller than his comrades, seemed pensive but alert. So hang on, Karl Menk is that guy? That's what Mail looks like, okay. Alfred Lotz, badly shaven, had so far mainly caught my attention through his cynical remarks. And Reinhard Hunt had already made fast friends with his comrades on the way here and entertained them with his stories. Exhausted, we finally found the dugout of Lieutenant von Karlsbruck, to whom we had been assigned. There you are, Herr Unterofficer, he greeted me. You seem to have taken your time. Surely you are fit enough to start work straight away. The lieutenant's condescending gaze swept over my men and then rested appraisingly on me. I apologize if I butcher some of the words. Obviously, they're kind of German-Englished, and I will try my best. Let's... Yes, sir, whatever you say, sir. Yes, Herr Unterofficer! Oh, Herr Lieutenant. Lieutenant. I confirmed. Regardless of how I assessed our situation, this was not the time to make a bad first impression on my superior. Some of my men looked worried, but Lieutenant von Karlsbruck nodded in satisfaction. My adjutant will show you your sleeping quarters. Afterwards, report to me for today's duties. I felt the eyes of my soldiers on my back. Obviously, some of these men resented my lack of concern for their needs. Without so much as another glance at me, Lieutenant von Karlsbruck turned back to the documents on his table. Welcome to the trenches, Herr Unterofficer. And there you have it, folks. That is the introduction. Click and hold the left mouse button to rotate the camera. Click on the location icon to jump to it, and on people to talk to them. The exclamation mark marks important conversations. Marks. The button at the bottom right leads through all the interactions required for this turn and ends the turn. Obviously, some of the things will be optional. So, change relation to neutral, change relation to contemptuous. So he was comradely, and he is now contemptuous. Why? Because I said, yes, sir, whatever you need, sir. Someone wants to talk to me. Let's speak to Lotz. We only have the rations left that we took with us. Where are we supposed to get something to eat around here? Indicated by attribute icons such as weather and resources. That'll be these. And as I learned a little bit further in the demo, which I do remember, red is bad, green is good. So the more bars you have in a red is bad, but the more bars you have in a green is good. It's yeah, it's how dire the situation is. Like I said, red is not good. This icon shows your prestige of superiors on the left and the mood of your soldiers on the right. Okay? The incidents of a turn often change the values of your soldiers. All recent changes are shown in the top right. That's over here. Mail, how are you feeling? I really hope the French won't attack. Me too. Right, pretty much everybody's strained. That's quite bad. I mean, that's a 2 out of 3 bad thing. Skills, he's dexterous. He doesn't quite know what to think of me back quite yet. That's his morale. He's somewhat cautious, very pragmatic. He is somewhat patriotic, and he is very sociable. Who are my other guys? Menk. He is a little bit tired. He is very attentive, and he is again dexterous as well. We're so close to the enemy, and yet we're just waiting. Sooner or later we will have to fight. I have to say I would prefer sooner. I'm not made for waiting around like this. And he is fairly tolerant, a bit by the book, somewhat jaded. He is very courageous. He is also, however, very distant. And he is respectful of me. Who else have we got? Hunt. He is physically fit. I like it. We're so close to the enemy, and yet we're just waiting. Same thing. He is a little bit tired. He is neutral. He is very tolerant, very pragmatic, fairly diplomatic, fairly courageous, very sociable, fairly compassionate. I do like these soldiers so far. Is this my last guy? Lots. He is trained in shooting. Love it. He hates me, however. He is fairly tolerant, very pragmatic, fairly unpatriotic, fairly courageous, fairly sociable. However, he is also fairly outspoken. We need to watch that guy. Rations for the day. Okay, we haven't been asked to do anything. Someone wants to talk to me. Von Karlsbruck. You're just in time. I've assigned your group to Night Watch. Assigned a few men to it. I suggest you send the rest to the supply depot. There you'll get provisions for the next few days. But from now on, managing your group's food supply will be your responsibility alone. Okay, and we need... certain... projects have a certain number of people, and other projects simply have as many as I decide to choose to it. So, there are 2 that are needed for Night Watch. Valiant attributes. Very pragmatic. They are somewhat tired. However, I'm not going to send that guy on Night Watch because he's very tired. So I am going to add... one of these guys is very observant, I'm sure. This guy, Karl Menk. Not that it says that. That seems to be any different. Very pragmatic. That's the very outspoken guy. So let's stick these 2 guys on Night Watch. And then to fetch rations with these 2 guys. And then hopefully we will have enough food. And that is all I'm going to be able to do for this round. Everybody is assigned. Nobody else wishes to speak to me. And so let's go to the next day. And here we have the next day has loaded. Okay, these 2 are now strained. That's not good. We do now have rations. Our rations for a day have been removed. We now have full rations. That is good. So we have enough rations. Somebody wants to speak to me. Let me guess. Oh, look. Herr Unterofficer, gather your shovels and men. You have to rebuild it as soon as possible. A communication trench collapsed. Okay. Dig in the trenches, especially. Delay will have consequences. Risk of injury. It is exhausting. Most of my people are exhausted, so I'm not going to do this today. Maybe tomorrow. Everybody get some rest. Without so much as another glance at me, looking for output. A few hours ago, the roar of artillery had begun. At first it was as quiet as the rumble of thunder in the distance, but recently it had become steadily louder and more threatening. Suddenly, there was a thud, not 10 meters from the hiding spot where my men were huddled. An artillery shell shredded the dugout of our neighboring troop. Pieces of wood and metal flew for meters and smoke obscured the view. The noise was deafening for a few seconds, and then died away as quickly as it had come. An almost eerie silent gasp of shock passed. Then my men and I jumped up, pushed aside broken beams, and searched for our buried comrades. We found 2, for whom all help came too late. A third, however, we could still hear panting. He was lying with his upper body trapped under the fallen beams. His face was distorted with pain, and he was barely conscious. My men stood around him, forlorn, and looked over to me for help. Hunt said pleadingly, "Herr Unterofficer, we must try to help him." Together, we lifted the beam from his chest, and only now saw the full extent of the damage. His chest looked crushed and his hip strangely twisted. A long splinter protruded from his abdomen, and his shirt was soaked in blood. Menk shook his head. He's beyond help. A mercy killing will save him and us both misery. No, get a stretcher. We're saving him. Get a stretcher! I ordered Hunt and Menk. First, I wanted to get him out of this wreckage, then decide whether I would expose my men to the danger of carrying him to the military hospital. There, the nurses could determine whether and how to help him. Dum 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 dum. Okay, let's take the. I am going to take the wounded soldier. Everybody is still exhausted, but I feel like that's going to be my state of affairs during this bit of trench warfare. Oh, there he is. He's not only strong, he's also fairly compassionate. And he's very tired, but not too much I can do about that. You are somewhat jaded, so let's not send you. Let's male. Oh, compassionate, aren't you? No, okay. Only one person's really passionate. That's fine. We shall send lots. Take the wounded soldier to the hospital. We do not have skirmish. I mean, is there much point in me doing this if I don't have 3 people doing it? I'm not entirely sure. Someone wants to talk to me. The artillery must have destroyed one of our telephone lines. Instruct one of your men to carry this message to command post immediately. Looks like the French are planning an attack and we urgently need more men. Oh, well, in that case... You know what, let's just take... Oh, whoops. Let's take you guys off that. Let's deliver message. Doesn't really make too much of a difference. Let's have you go for a run. Let's have you help him there. Let's just stick you on maintain trenches. I don't think it's going to do anything. Someone wants to talk to me. Herr Unterofficer, the advanced emplacement has been destroyed by artillery. Now we're missing a well-covered position there, and the French have an easy way into our trenches. I'm afraid that if we try to rebuild the position directly at the front line, the French will do their best to prevent it. Rebuild emplacement. Risk of injury extremely high. Yeah, so you have to have the right number. So at which point you can be taken off. Let's deliver the message. We'll fail if not done this turn. We'll fail if not done this turn. Let's go to the next turn. Did anything happen? Rations for 2 days added. Right, I have rations for 2 days. Change to under artillery fire. A good mood in the troop usually makes everyday life easier for everyone. However, the circumstances rarely contribute positively. Oh no, a good mood was removed. My people aren't too happy with this. Well, I feel like that was actually really low, so I'm surprised that's... Anyway. Average prestige. Hunt! A wounded man we took to the field hospital. Fortunately, he died. We did what we could. The people in the field hospital too. I guess it was just too late for him. I'm glad we tried, but it's still saddening. Oh, what's circumstances? Negative of... Oh. That's not good. Oh, everyone got negative events. Aww. Hole up in the bunker. I think I'm actually going to stick 3 of you on maintain trenches. And one of you is going to fetch rations. You holding up in the bunker. Let's go. Oh, what's happening? I think we might be under attack. Friday, March 5th, 1915. For the past day, my men and I have been sitting tightly packed in our bunker, while the French artillery rained down salvo after salvo of death and destruction on us. There it goes in the background. During the hard work of our first days in the trenches, I hardly found a quiet minute to have a personal conversation with my men. So now they were sitting next to me, tense and still mostly strangers, and I fervently hoped that they would survive the shelling unscathed. The silence between us was in sharp contrast to the constant droning outside. When, after hours, the firing suddenly stopped, a sigh of relief went through the ranks of some of the young soldiers. However, that was the moment when the veterans of the other troops tensed up and began to load their rifles. A cacophony of whistles snapped us out of our stupor as well. The French were attacking. Stay together, people. I do have a couple of patriotic people which maybe the left one could have helped. Stay together, people! I shouted to my soldiers and led them to our positions in the trenches. Together, we halted and mentally prepared ourselves for the upcoming battle. Rations for 2 days were removed. We have good rations. I like how I can make notes. I do like that. Go close to enemy, but just waiting. Right, I don't think there's going to be anything to say. For the next level, which will be the battle. Defensive position. Ah, yes, I didn't build this, did I? And if I spin the camera all the way around, the only other thing is Herr Lieutenant von Karlsburg. The Major is an impressive man, determined, orderly and loyal to the Emperor to a fault. A textbook example of a Prussian officer. You should take a page from his book, Herr Unterofficer. No. Okay, well then I guess it's time to go to the battle. Like a cannon and its black smoke vent. This is nothing right of a cannon. The French are coming! The enemy has superior numbers. We may soon have to retreat from these trenches. Herr Unterofficer, you and your greenhorns are to collect and evacuate all the ammunition you can find. If we're to lose this trench, at least we won't lose our equipment. Right. In battle, you lead your soldiers as a troop. However, you can also give them orders individually unless they have been separated from the troop. Pay attention to your allied and enemy troops and adjust your tactics accordingly. On each troop, information about it is displayed, such as its stats or its last command. Moderate cover was added. Bind equipment was added under moderate fire was added. Right. Search the alcove, search the hideout. I'm going to stick you to search the hideout. Search the alcove can simply be done by you. And you guys can take cover. It's calming and it's relaxing. Okay. When you click on a command for your troop, a window with further details appears on the right. This window shows you the appropriate danger levels for executing this command. Additionally, the advantages and disadvantages of the position are displayed here. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's where I am, so... Okay, let's go next turn. Let's collect the equipment we can. And let's watch them... I mean, they're going to be coming in on my right-hand side very easily. You can only give your troop one command per turn. The rally command causes your troop to stay at its current location. For the following commands, you can move your troop to another position. Often, a new command also changes the current project of your troop. We are in grenade range. Well, that's not going to do, is it? I was able to find some ammunition. Position. Next action, tactical move. I think they're coming next to me. Of course, these guys have... Well, these places have better cover. Crash, preview action, advance. Enemies on flank. Okay, let's go collect more ammunition and equipment, shall we? Go, go, go! Schnell, schnell, schnell! Great. Take cover. I mean, I guess I can't shoot back, so let's keep collecting some ammunition and equipment. A lot of combat supplies. I like it. Let's retreat all the way back. I mean, that puts someone on my flank. Yep, let's retreat all the way. Get some more equipment further back. Apparently my guys aren't in a shooting mood. Task has been completed. Heads down, artillery. Okay, Untersag. That should be enough, right? We've collected quite a lot now and can't carry much more. Yes, it should be. Under moderate fire removed. Change to moderate cover. Artillery shelling added. Let us... Where are we going to be going? Good protection from artillery. Okay, let's go there. Then... let's rally. The following commands are executed by your soldiers on the spot, which means that they remain at their current position. Hold, soldiers fire at moving enemies. Suppress, enemy positions are actively kept down. Rally, soldiers stay in cover. Changing the command also changes the current project of your troop. In addition, the allied soldiers in your immediate proximity will react to your actions. Soldiers, we are falling back. Retreat to the next defensive line. Okay, but we are actually quite far back, aren't we? Hunt. Officer, we should provide cover fire so our comrades can retreat. Yes, we should. You're going to retreat? You advanced and now you're retreating. And you guys are retreating. These are our soldiers. That is the enemy. Press. Fire, general suppression. Take cover. No, fire, general suppression. Let's cover all my comrades further up. Yeah, you get up and get that gear too. Come on, man. We got you. We got you. And there's no one on my right. And these are the only guys far forward. Total 4, firing 0, wounded 0. They rallied. Okay, these guys are staying down. These guys are giving a bit of fire. This is where we have to go back across, I think. They're going to retreat. They're going to retreat. Yeah, we're still the furthest back, so let's do general suppression again. Lightly stressed added, shocked added. Menk. The artillery almost got hit. That was far too close. These guys are retreating. These guys are retreating as well, huh? Okay, go! Ah, we're stuck on our friends. You guys need to go too, if an artillery shell hit right now. Whew, that would be dangerous. Ah, one of my guys got separated. No, there he is. Hail. Damn artillery. Menk must have taken a hit. Pain stress to medium. Shocked removed. Wounded added. Bleeding added. Light stress added. Under moderate fire. Good protection from artillery. I'm gonna... Oh, first aid for Menk. That'll be you. And the other guys are going to suppress for a round. Okay, suppress them. Get some first aid patched in. Menk's bleeding has almost stopped, Hail under officer. I won't need much longer. Leave. No, continue treatment. General suppression. Yep, you keep up general suppression. You keep shooting those guys. You don't let them come back here. Let's get Menk back on his... Oh, there's another... What's that, like a 6-man, 8-man, 7-man squad? Let's get out of here. Menk, seems the wound wasn't as bad as it looked. I think I can continue here on top, sir. Your orders. I was able to stop Menk's bleeding. Someone should take him to the stretcher bearer so that he can get to the field hospital as quickly as possible. We are kind of as far forward as we're going, and everybody else is retreating, so... Corpses in the area. Enemies on the flank. Yeah, make a run for it. After all the artillery landed. Good timing. Good timing. Let's get yourselves back in cover. What have you gone and done now? Lots. What's the problem? I'm hit, but it doesn't hurt that much. Only a scratch and hardly any blood. I think it was just a grazing shot. Lucky me. Lucky you. We are currently flanked. Retreat across the creek. Yep, that'll do. Full cover. Go. We have been pushed back across the creek. a bad day for the army. I'm hit, but it doesn't hurt that much. Okay. Mail. I'm hit, but it doesn't hurt that much. People are getting grazed. People are stressed. People are lightly wounded. Let's go to the next level, folks. We have escaped this devastating retreat. In the German Empire, tent shelters were introduced in 1892 to provide shelter for the increasing number of soldiers in field armies. Whoa! Well, we've made it out of the trenches, folks, and we are back in the field hospital. Or the field camp, I should say. It's not actually a field hospital. Saturday, March 6th. The explosions, gunshots, and screams still echoed in my ears. We had only been fighting for a few minutes, and yet it felt as if years had passed since this morning. And every day, life back home, a lifetime away. To be in the camp now, safely far behind the front, was surreal. The light-hearted chirping of the birds almost drowned out the dull rumble of the front, and the cries of pain from the field hospital where we had taken Menk. My people lay down exhausted on the grass, surrounded by the boxes of ammunition and equipment we had saved. Dirty and bloodied, some still pale and trembling. But soon, the angry voice of Lieutenant in the distance abruptly broke the supposed peace, even before we could see him coming towards us amidst the tents. Herr Lieutenant? I'm siding with my men this time. Guys, sit down, you know? Herr Lieutenant, I greeted him uncertainly. Lieutenant von Karlsbruck looked down contemptuously at my people, most of whom were still sitting or lying on the ground, but seeing the ample supply of ammunition seemed to appease him. Good job, Herr Unterofficer, he forced out against his visibly blazing anger. Not that it was a difficult task, but apparently with this bunch of slobs you have to be happy if anyone shows even a modicum of competency. Our troops were in the best position for a counterattack, but no, the reserve was too cowardly to take advantage of this unique opportunity we had prepared for them, the lieutenant rumbled without prompting. And now, the Herr Major accuses me, us, of having abandoned the trench line unnecessarily. A disgrace. Henceforth, we will hold the line, come what may. My people did their best. I feel like that will just get him to have a go at us. There was no holding the line. Yes, Herr Lieutenant. There was no holding the line. The attack was too strong. The previous artillery. No. The lieutenant interrupted me harshly. That's hardly your place to judge. We could have sold the trenches for considerably more today, and if that was what the Herr Major expects, to grant my promotion to Oberleutnant, then that is what he will get. Set up camp, Herr Unterofficer. Sooner or later, we'll get our chance to pay back the French, he ordered, and left us to take out his displeasure on others. He's just not a happy man. Good recovery added. Exchange to exhausted. A low food supplies removed. So we have food. Someone is in the field hospital. And someone wants to talk to me. So our symbol means that a dialogue is available due to certain circumstances and could be gone next turn. Okay. Dialogues can also have negative effects. Okay. Dialogues are put out of the game. Symbols on the side provide information about the effects. Ah, you're Menk's Unterofficer. I'm Sister Elizabeth Ritter. I organize our small field hospital here. Don't worry, Menk is doing pretty well. He will soon recover from his wounds. I'm honestly glad you were overwhelmed so quickly. The shorter a skirmish, the fewer dead and wounded. Defeat is good? As far as I'm concerned, certainly yes. The lieutenant can throw a fit about losing the trench line all he wants. But I'm content with not being overburdened and nobody dying under my care. Just because we don't have enough time for proper treatment. Agree. I'm glad you see it that way. There are some people in this camp who believe that the war will be decided right here. Complete nonsense. They want fame and glory. As a nurse, I know there's only agony and death to be won here. Anything amiss, Herr Unterofficer? I know Melzer. Barons. Okay, so we've got a few fellows here. Not too many, not too many. Hello, Hailton Officer. Okay, somebody else wants to speak to me? Welcome to camp, Hailton Officer. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Anton Zielinski, your field cook. I'm afraid I can't cook any for you right now, though, as your squad hasn't been allocated supplies yet. Better contact Field Intendant Hennick. He is responsible for your supplies. Is he now? You're the new group's Unter officer, right? Field Intendant Hennick, responsible for supplying the troops. I'll allocate some supplies to your group immediately. This should last you until the next supply shipment. Talk to me if you need anything. Here's to good cooperation, Herr Unterofficer. There'll be a few more weeks, but the next shipment of supplies is coming soon. Alright. Request additional provisions. The storage is slowly emptying, but there's still enough left for you to get some extra if you need it. Accept. Send someone over to pick up the supplies. Done. Leave. I will offer him out next time. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to send one person... Go and grab me some supplies. 2 people left to set up camp. Just got the delivery from the field intendant. What size ration should I give your people? If you want to do something good for them, then I would suggest double rations. Just talk to me whenever you want to change your troops' rations. Let's go double rations for now. I'll serve the men double rations from now on. Good. Alright, then let's turn around and let's look at our meager non-setup tent area. And that should be good. So good recovery has been added. Change to exhausted has been added. Low food supplies have been removed. Okay. And so, we are going to leave the first episode there. We have done the introduction in the trenches, and we are now at the field camp, where we are going to have to rest and recuperate and maybe see if we can make some friends whilst we're here. And see what little favours we can get done. There goes an airplane overhead. Literally in the game. And of course, see if I can get my prestige and my soldiers' mood to increase. But we'll have to see what happens in the next episode with all of that. So until then, as per always, I hope you have enjoyed this episode of All Quiet in the Trenches. I am going to very much continue enjoying this game. I do very much like the story-heavy element of it. I hope you will enjoy it with me. So until next time, as per always, stay safe, stay happy, and stay healthy.